I get asked a lot if I use saturators. Now, I do use saturation quite a bit. I go out of the box sometimes. I'm not totally in the box. And I think that when you are in the box, saturation is becoming more of a must. You can do quite a lot with it. You can really warm things up. You can get things sounding really good. Sort of using it across individual tracks when you're mixing always makes it sound really good. But also I use it obviously when I'm mastering and also on a mix bus where you can just get the overall sound sounding a little bit more gluey and a little bit tighter. I'm going to run you through my top 5 that I use in different scenarios most of the time. So these are the 5 that I would check out if I was you. There's some freebies in here, but first of all, let's go on to Denise Audio. And this is their God Mode plugin. Now this one is a very flat UI, as you can see there. You can move the kind of percentage of the sound. So the mix of the tape has a little warp sound and a buzz sound. And then it's also got this feature here where you can change the EQ a bit as well, which is great. I won't go through all the details, but you can kind of play around with it yourself. You can get the trial as I've got. But I'll just give you a sound. The thing I've used this for is to do very subtle stuff, more mixing on individual tracks, not across the whole mix. I've got other ones for that. I'll save that, my favourite one, till last. But yeah, I'll just play you this. You can hear it starts to grain up a little bit sometimes if you put too much on. So yeah, keep it easy on it. By adding that little bit of EQ there and just adding 40%, 50% mix of it, it's kind of really gets that vocal kind of coming out. Really nice sort of saturation there. So there you go. That is the Denise God Mode. Definitely worth checking out. I think you'll get a lot of good use out of that when you play around with a few more of the, you know, the filters and stuff. Next up is something that looks brilliant. I think this looks fantastic. It's got loads of different features on it. It's called the RC20 Retro Color. This is fun, but what I tend to use this for is this is more of a sound design thing. So across individual instruments, across keyboards, guitars, things like that, you can really mess around with the sound. So I'll do it across a whole track so you can hear the sort of differences. But yeah, sound design or getting effects and, you know, doing sort of, you can do subtle stuff, but it's more fun really doing the sort of big stuff. So I'll give you a few demos.
I guess shit happens for a reason.
So just using this going into the different presets menu so that it's, you know, makes it quick and then just sort of fanning around with it after.
Guess shit happens for a reason. But it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back? I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to your bedroom?
So you can hear that's really good for sort of chewing sounds up, really getting stuff happening. It's got some whip things. It's got loads of stuff to mess about with. So that's a really good fun one just to get some sounds going, to, you know, really dive into that with different things. Now let's move on to something that's really simple. This is also 100% free too from Softubes. This is the saturation. So this is a one knob job, which we like, obviously, and it's got 3 different styles of saturation. So I'll play you through the 3 different styles. Love this, really good. This is a lovely non-CPU heavy plugin. So having it across loads of individual tracks or across a bus, it sounds really good to really give you that kind of analog vibe. So yeah, let's play it and I'll go through the 3 different settings. Yeah, so love the natural one across the mix, but yeah, because the keep high gets a little bit edgy. Keep low's cool, but yeah, that is free, so you may as well go and get that and have a little play around with it. Now, number 4 is something I use a lot of the time. I love the real version of this, but this emulation by UAD sounds spot on. Now, I let's just open this up. I turn all of these off, so let's turn that on so you can actually see. So turn everything off. I don't want noise and all that kind of stuff. You can if you're using it as a, for a bit more vibe on certain things, sort of instruments. You might want to add a little bit more kind of, air and hiss and hum and things. So it's good for that if you want to do a little bit more sort of design on the sound. But for me, when I'm just putting it across a mix bus or mastering to get it gluey and get that kind of tape sound, it's good because it's not the original one. I always found that I'd always push into the tape too much. So by having this plugin, I don't have to push into the tape. I can just go into it and just have it sort of, just really touching it. When you've got tape and you've paid for a reel of tape and you put it on, you really want to kind of push into it and go over the top. So this stops you from doing that, and it's just got a lovely sound. What I do is I turn everything off. And I just play with these, so I can change different tape types. I mean, I like 456 and GP9's cool, but yeah, you've got different calibrations and you've got your different size tapes. So 1 inch, ½ inch, ½ inch. I like the ½ inch, and then you've got different tape speeds here to play with. So 30 IPS or 15 IPS are my kind of 2 go-tos that I use. So I'll just play through these so that you can hear how it sounds across. I'll play that same track again because it sort of works with this kind of thing. And you'll see, very subtle, but really nice. So check this out. I mean, when you're listening to this, listen to the low end, listen to that bass, just how it sounds, because with tape machines, they just smooth the bass out and just get them really kind of gluey and together in the low end. So just listen to that when I'm going in and out on bypass. For me, it just makes everything sound really together and really posh sounding. So I love that. Having that at the front of your chain if you're mastering, or on the end of the mix bus right at the end before you send it off to mastering. Really cool, just a really nice little finisher before it, before you start pushing it through limiters and things like that in mastering. So love that. Now on to number 5, which is my favourite. It's the, obviously it's FabFilter again, my favourite plugins. You can't go wrong with their plugins really. And this is the Saturn 2. Now, the great thing about this is it's got loads of features and you can use it really subtly, but you can also go quite heavy on it. But it's got a load of presets here that you can use on individual tracks. So if you want to, drive some guitars and stuff, it's great. How I use it for on a mix bus or mastering is by splitting it up into different channels, and then I can use it as a kind of EQ band. So these are bands of EQ, I can turn them up or down. And then also the great thing is because each one has its own thing, you can choose different styles of tape or different styles of saturation sound across different bands. And then they also have this tone, which is cool. So you can kind of EQ different sections. It's just does loads basically. So I'll go a bit extreme. If I tend to use this across for mastering, I won't go more than sort of 1 or 2 dBs max, but here today I'll just show you in more extreme sort of 4 5s so that we can really get a easy way of hearing it, across the YouTube sort of world. So yeah, I'll have a play. As I'm playing, you'll see what I'm doing and you can hear the difference. I'll bypass it in and out, but I love this. It's got it just really makes the track sound really finished really quickly. So yeah, love it. Check it out.
Waking up slowly, dreaming of a holy kiss.
all got a bit exciting then, didn't it? So yeah, that's my favourite. That's the Satin 2. Check that out. You can get a demo of it as well. So try it out, give it a play. You'll love it. You can do it on loads of different stuff. So I hope you got loads out of this. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And if you've got any saturators you use, please put them in the comments. See you on the next one. Bye.